Hey everyone, how are you this evening? How you doing? I see a lot of people already are on the live. And so I see Needlepoint and Cheryl Lacey. Hey Shauna. And Shay, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I think it's Shina. She has her own YouTube channel and stuff. So please subscribe her, please support her and stuff. And she also has an Etsy shop as well and stuff. So I hope your channel's growing. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Lisa and Iris. I saw you made a sale today. Congratulations. Ching, 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 ching. That's it. Getting that money. Hey, Michelle. How are you? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Norma. So, guys, today, hey, Cheryl. How are you? Today, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about hoops. Lots of hoops, okay? I'm going to talk about the hoops that I use every day with both of my machines, okay? Because I know some of you guys have multi-needle machines and then some of you guys have the single needle machines, okay? So I'm going to start off talking about the single needles machines first, okay? Now, when you get your SC1900, it comes with one hoop, and it's the 5x7 hoop. Now, it's really the hoop to get, but you can also go out and you can get a 4x4 hoop. Now, you may want to ask, and you know, like I know with me, when I first got my machine, first thing I said was, well, I got a hoop. I got my 5x7 hoop. Why would I need a smaller hoop, right? The thing is, sometimes you do need a smaller hoop. For example, let's say that you are embroidering a logo. And I'm telling you this because I learned the hard way, okay? Because I kind of thought that if you have a hoop, you should be able to embroider anything. The thing is that the bigger the hoop, and when you hoop your material, sometimes it's not as snug as it should be when you're going to start to embroider. And I know I just got right into it, and I see a bunch of people getting in and stuff. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Ruth. Wendy, Tracy. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking because, you know, you guys can always hit the replay. Okay, so you can always hit the replay and stuff. But I'm going to keep talking because I know I want to talk to you guys mostly about the hoops, okay? Because the thing is, hoops can get kind of confusing. They come in different sizes, and they each have, like, their own little purpose, right? They have their own separate purpose and stuff, and it can get a little confusing. So let's start with the SC1900, which is a single needle machine. For those of you that don't know, some of you guys have a PE800, which is very similar to the SC1900. The only difference between the PE800 and the SC1900 is that the SC1900 is kind of like a sewing machine, embroidery machine combo. And when you have a PE800, all that machine does is embroidery only, okay? Doesn't have the sewing machine. So if you want to sew, you're going to have to buy a separate machine for that. So, you know, if you have something like the SC 800 or the SC 1900, I said SC PE 800, SE 1900, you get one hoop, which is the 5x7. You can sometimes buy a smaller hoop, which is the 4x4, which is what I have here. The way I got this one was when I was looking into repositioning hoops. I saw on Amazon that they were like, if I remember correctly, I think there were 4 in a pack. I think I'm missing a hoop. I think there was a little itty bitty hoop, and I think I'm missing it. It's probably back there somewhere. But it's four hoops to a pack, right? You get your 5x12. You get your 5x7, okay, which means you'll have an extra one. And then you have 4x4. And then you also have, if I remember correctly, the other one is a little round one. And let me see if it's in here real quick. I believe it is. Yes, it is. Thank goodness I looked. This is the small one that you get. So this comes in a 4-pack that I bought. And the reason why I bought it, honestly, is because when I was looking for the repositioning hoop, which is a 5x12, it was pretty expensive. It was about like 20, 24. I think it was close to 30 actually. I don't quote me on it, but I know it was pretty pricey. And I know the reason why I went with the 4-pack is because the 4-pack was just a couple of dollars more and you got 4 hoops. So to me, it was, I mean, you guys know I suffer from cheapism. I like to be very frugal with my money and I like to get the best bang for my buck. So the way I looked at it is, why spend all this money for 1 hoop if I can just lay out just a little bit more and I have 4, and then I have the different sizes. Okay. So, I ended up then with an extra 5x7, which, to be honest, I use because I like to embroider my dinner napkins on my single needle machine. And as I have one napkin embroidering, I have the other hoop set up already with the sticky stabilizer, and I have the napkin already, floated. So that way, when the dinner napkin is done, I pull it out and I can take the other one and slide it right in and hit the start button and then just keep going. So I end up like with an assembly line. So, when you get your machine, like I said, you get a 5x7. Now, a lot of times you can do mostly everything with the 5x7, but then sometimes you'll ask yourself, well, why do I need the other sizes? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because when you have a 5x7 and you put the fabric in here, it's kind of stretched, but it's not really like tight, okay? And it depends on the design, okay? If you have like a small logo, you really want the fabric and stuff to be kind of really snug and fit really nicely in the hoop. So in that situation, what you would do is you would go and you would probably go for one of the smaller hoops, which I don't know what this is. I believe this is a 4-inch, was probably a 3 because it's 4 inches long, but it's probably smaller. So I would use a small one like this, or I would go ahead and I would use the hoop, which is a 4x4. That way I can really hoop the fabric a lot more secure, and then the embroidery can take place. So that, to me, I learned this the hard way, and I'll tell you how. If you guys saw my video on the horror of my 36 shirts, the customer wanted his name on the back of the shirt, and then he wanted something in the front, right? Well, when I was using the hoop, the big hoop, okay, because I thought I was being slick, and I was like, oh, okay, I could just use the big hoop on the back and then use the big hoop on the front. Well, no, it don't work that way, because the thing is, whenever I tried it, the fabric shifted. And when the fabric shifted, the stitches did not come out very solid. So one of the things that I did is, when I bought the hooping station, the hooping station came with a smaller hoop. And it actually came with this hoop. And these are for the multi-needle. It came with this. And this was perfect for the logo. So when I was able to snap this in, and the fabric was very, was stiff, and it was able to embroider the logo with no problem. When I went and I used a bigger hoop, what ended up happening was the fabric would move on me, and then next thing you know, my lettering was off and everything. So it was just like terrible. So this did not work. So if you think there is no use for the small hoops, believe me, there really is, because it could be that maybe at the moment, all the designs that you are buying right now are 5x7, but like, let's say later on you want to do something and it's a small design, or it's just small lettering. Believe me, you're going to want to grab these small hoops, especially if it's just something small like a logo or something like that. This is what I would use. Okay. So, there are 2 hoops that I like a lot with my single needle machine. Okay. I love to use my magnetic hoop, and that is my favorite for when I'm doing heavy materials. Like if I'm going to do a sweatshirt, or I'm going to do a bath towel or something like that, I always grab this. And this is a magnetic hoop. Okay. What I love about it is the flatness of it. And I know that some of you guys that are part of our Facebook group has purchased this. And it's kind of funny because I hear a lot of, well, I don't hear it. I mean, I read it, and a lot of you guys say that you guys don't even touch the hoop that came with the machine, that you guys are like addicted to this. And I could see why. I mean, this to me is easier to slide into the machine because it is totally flat. And one of the things that I love about the magnetic hoop is that because it's flat, you don't get something that's called hoop burn, okay? Now, let me tell you what hoop burn is for those that are new, okay? Sometimes what happens is, let's say you have your hoop. I'm going to play around a lot with this one. This is the 5x7 that came with the machine. What happens is, when this is the bottom of it, you put your stabilizer in, and sometimes people will take their product and they'll put it in on, lay it on here with the stabilizer, and then they clamp it down. Okay. Now, I don't do that. Usually what I will do is I always hoop my stabilizer. I only hoop my stabilizer and I clamp it down. Then what I do is, if I'm not using sticky stabilizer, then what I will do if it's cutaway is I take temporary adhesive spray and I spray it on, and then I will lay the product on top of the hoop. Now, that's a technique that's called floating, okay? Now, the reason why I prefer to float is depending on the material that you're using. If you're using something that is thin, okay, like maybe like a very thin tea towel, when you put the stabilizer in and the tea towel and then you clamp it, you should be okay. But let's say that you have something that's a little thicker, like some shirts may be okay, but let's say that the shirt has a thicker material. You can do it. You will put your stabilizer in, you put your shirt in, or I don't know, a piece of fabric or whatever, and it's pretty thick. And then you clamp it down and then you tighten it, right? Well, what will sometimes happen, and is when you are done embroidering and then you take it apart, you're going to notice on the material that you are going to have like some kind of fold on it, right? And then you try to, kind of like mess with it a little bit, and stretch it or iron it. Sometimes that it'll come off, but sometimes it kind of formed into the material. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but when that happens, or the coloring will be off, like leather. Let's say if you do leather, okay, or vinyl or stuff like that, that you're gonna get like a marking, okay, on the side of it, and it's gonna show the marking of the insides of the hoop. You don't want that, right? Because then what ends up happening is it kind of looks tacky, So it does, So anyway, that's when I prefer to float, because what you're doing is you are clamping down is the actual stabilizer. And then what you're doing is you're just taking your product, your fabric, and you're just laying it down. And then it's kind of like it's stuck on the actual stabilizer. It's not clamped into the into this. So it's not going to, you're not going to have that marking, okay? So I'm a floater, okay? So I love to float all my stuff. So, that's how I prefer to do embroidery. Now, when I first started, I was clamping everything, okay? And then I started seeing some hoop burns and everything. And then when I learned about floating, then I started floating everything. But I was floating everything with these two. Now, the thing with floating too is you got to remember the material. Sometimes, depending how thick it is, it will sometimes, it's going over the edge of your hoop. And sometimes when you are sliding this in there, it can get a little bit challenging, because then you got to squish it down, to get it under the needle and stuff. But that's when this magnetic hoop comes in, and this is the reason why I love it. And I think I showed this in a previous video. This is extremely flat, and as you can see, it's just a flat surface. But when you compare it with this, it's a little bulky, right? It's not that bulky, but believe me, when you are trying to slide something in your embroidery machine to put it right underneath the needle, that little bit of bulkiness kind of matters a little bit, okay? Because it makes it a lot easier for you to take your item and just slide it into the machine. So that is the whole reason why I actually love this magnetic hoop. I think it makes it very, very simple for you to slide it in and out of the machine. And the one that I bought comes with 6 magnets. Where are my magnets? Okay, it comes with 6 magnets, and I have magnets. I don't know where the magnets went. All right, it came with 6. Oh, there they go. Sorry, it was right in front of me. God, I'm a mess. Anyway, so it's 6. I got the one that comes with 6 magnets. They have some out there on Amazon that only come with like 4 magnets. And when I look at the price, it's almost the same. So to me, I was just like, order the one that has the 6. Okay. Now you can get additional magnets. Okay. But I think the actual additional magnets were like $15. So it's just cheaper to go and get the one that comes with the 6 magnets. Okay. Now these magnets are pretty tough. Let me tell you, they really do clamp down. So if you're doing something like a bath towel or, thick material, I mean, I'm telling you, these things are really like, they're solid. They really are. And they really do secure the material in place. So, at first I looked at it and I was kind of like, is this really, really going to work? It does. Guys, this is like really hard magnets, and it really, really does work. So if you're doing like I said, very thick materials, or materials that you feel that if you were to put it in the other hoop, if you can't float it because you think it's too thick, this is where you reach. So this is my favorite, especially for bath towels, because you don't I like my bath towels to be thick, okay? Because the thin bath towels, sometimes you get out of the shower, you can't even, it doesn't dry yourself that quick and stuff like that. So, and I like the fluffiness, okay? I love fluff. That's why I think I picked Mellow, because he's fluffy. He's a fluffy dog. So anyway, going back to the hoop. So these are the ones. So these are really, really, really good. And I know that a lot of folks had purchased them, and now they're like swearing by it. They love it. It's like their favorite hoop. Now let's talk about hats, okay? I love to embroider the baseball hats. And when I first got my SC1900, it can get very difficult to embroider a baseball hat, but it depends also on the baseball hat that you get. Sometimes you can get a baseball hat that's very, very soft. And if it is soft and it's not like really structured and rough, right, in the baseball, the cap area, then what you can do is you can just push it down on sticky stabilizer. And in that case, you would be able to embroider your hat in the regular 5x7 hoop, okay? But if you have a hat that's a little bit on the rough side, then that is when I really say a hat hoop comes into place, okay? This is really, really good, because what I love about this, I'm gonna unbuckle mine, and I cleaned mine up. I cleaned all my hoops for today, because sometimes they get a little dirty, because of all the stuff. And your hoops will get dirty too, because when you start, using it and all that stuff, they end up being a mess and stuff. So I used Go Gone or something like that. I picked up at Lowe's, and it works great. Okay, I think is this coming out? Oh, I gotta do it with the screwdriver. Okay, anyway. Okay, I don't have the screwdriver handy. Okay, I gotta unscrew this, because see, okay, I did this mega tight and I can't get it out. Anyway, oh, now I got it. All right, there you go. See what happens when you complain? Everything works. All right, so here's the hat hoop. This is where they has a lid, okay? Now these are like little turning knobs, and I got this I bought mine from an Etsy shop, and the Etsy shop's called Hat Hoop, okay? Now I know they have like a whole bunch of listings and stuff like that. I was very easily confused when I first bought mine. So what I did was I just emailed the seller, and I just told them, hey, I have the SC1900. It's a 5x7 hoop, and I just need this to fit the hat hoop on my SC on my machine. And he was able to tell me exactly the listing to go for and which one to buy. He was a really nice guy. So you know, I went and I got this hat hoop, which is nice and clean because I cleaned it today. And I really love this because what this is you use this with your 5x7 hoop, okay? The way you do is you take the bottom of your 5x7 hoop, and then this is going to lay inside of it like that, okay? And then you just tighten it, okay? And it's going to be inside. So what you do is you take the lid of your baseball hat, and you take the lid and you put it in here. You tighten this, and it makes it easier for you to flatten the hat into this, you know, into the hoop. So I use sticky stabilizer, okay? And the way I do it is I take sticky stabilizer, and the reason why this gets dirty a lot is because I take the sticky stabilizer and I stick it to the back of this hoop. So that way the sticky part comes out here. Then I take this and I put it in my 5x7 hoop, okay? And then I go and I take my hat and then I slide it in here and I flatten it out and stuff. And I do have a video on using this, so, you know, you can make your hats and stuff. Now, this is very, very good when you have even with a soft hat. If you have a soft hat, you use any kind of hats. This is fabulous. However, though, you know, you really don't need it if you work a lot on the real soft ones. And when I'm talking the soft ones, I'm talking about those that are real, you know, easy to move around, and they're not very stiff in any way. That way, in that case, I could just take a regular 5x7, put the stabilizer on it, stabilizer on a sticky stabilizer, and then I would just flatten it out. Okay, so you know, that is like, you know, these are really cool for the baseball hats. I love it. I use this a lot. I mean, it was good. It was money well spent. It really was. Oh, and I do want to show you the magnetic hoop. Sorry, I know I'm jumping around. You guys probably with your notebooks going, God damn, she talks too fast. I'm sorry. I'm a New Yorker. Anyway, this came with its own grid. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't use the grid. And the reason why I don't use the grid is because the grid on this is not the same as the grid on a 5x7. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Here's one. Here's a 5x7. Okay. When you have your 5x7 hoop, okay, and you get your grid, it just snaps right in, right? It's very easy for you to put it in here and stuff like that. Now, when you have your magnetic hoop, okay, the problem that I have with this, let me take out all the magnets so I can show you, is that, you know, it comes with this grid, but it's flat, right? So sometimes I'm not too sure if I'm aligning it correctly. That's the thing. I'm not confident because sometimes, you know, you can move it a little bit to this side, move it a little bit to here, maybe go a little bit too high. You know, there's no like little knobs for you to know for sure that you have this sucker in place. You know, I guess you could. Maybe I'm being too picky. I don't know. Well, anyway, I just don't use it. What I usually do is I take my own ruler and I measure from here to here, and I pick the middle point and I put a little pen, and then I put the middle point here, make a pen here, and then I just do my X. And then that's how I know where the middle section is. So that's how I do this. So, you know, it does come with a grid, but it's just me, you know. It's not that it's bad or anything. It's just that I just haven't personally fell in love with this grid and used it. Yeah. So it's just not. I don't really care for it. It's not. Maybe I have it in wrong. I don't know. Oh, I had it in wrong. All right, we learn something new every day. Yep, I was using it wrong. Ain't that something? Okay, well, I mean, I still don't like it. Okay, I'm gonna stick with my ruler thing because I know that works. Anyway, so I mean, I don't know. I'll play with it and stuff. Okay, so we talked about the little small hoops, and when you would probably want to use them. We talked about the 5x7 hoop that came with the machine. We talked about the magnetic hoop that comes with the magnetic hoop that you can buy to use on your SC1900. We also talked about the hat hoop. Now, there is another hoop that you can use with your SC1900, which if it wasn't for Miss Smiles, I would not know about it. I tell you, this lady, I think she's so cool. Anyway, so it's called a reposition hoop. And that is what led me to buy the kit, okay? This is where you can create designs that can fit in a big file like this, okay? I mean, a big hoop like this. Now, I do have a video on how to do this, okay? The way it is that you're going to create your file in Brilliance, and I'm sure you could probably do it in other embroidery software too, but I don't know how to do it because I just use it in Brilliance, so I can only tell you how to do it with what I know. And what it does is you set it up so that you have the reposition hoop, which is the 5x12. And then what you would do is you would create your design to fit within this hoop. When you save your file is saved as two separate files. And it's really two separate 5x7 7 sizes, okay? You have like a file 1 and a file 2. They call it the top and the bottom. And then what happens is, when you start to embroider, what you do is you're going to embroider, one side. You either embroider the top, and then when you're done, you just take it out, you reposition it, and then you embroider the bottom. And then that's how you could do a big size like this. Now, I saw someone on the Facebook page had asked the question, can you do something like an 8.5, an 8x8 hoop on an SC1900? Now, this is the thing, you can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Look at the machine, and then look at the space that you have between your needle and the edge of the machine. Now, when she asked that question, I went there and I measured, and I say it's about like 7 inches, okay? And you got to remember too, you have to have enough room that if you are embroidering at the end of that hoop, that there is enough space for that hoop to move, okay? So you have to remember that when you're looking at your machine. Your machine only is limited. So that's why there's a reason why it's a 5x12, okay? You can embroider up to here, but when the machine is moving, okay, let's say you're embroidering here, it has to have enough space, enough throat space in your machine in order for the hoop to be able to move, okay? If not, it's going to bang into the side of the inside of your machine, okay? So, can you use an 8x8 on SC1900? No. You're going to have to use a 5x12. Now, I'm sure there's probably ways that you can probably take a design and maybe, make it in pieces. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if that's even possible, because when you look at the 5x12, you see that it does the 2 files. And you got to remember, when you are working on the embroidery design and it's on a 5x12, you never remove the material from the hoop, okay? It stays in the hoop as is. You finish the first file, then after that, you remove the hoop. You don't remove the material from the hoop. You just remove the hoop itself and you reposition it. And then the machine's going to take off and then do file number 2. So in order for you to do something in an 8x8, you would have to remove the material. You really would. You would have to remove the material from the hoop. And then the question would be, when you remove the material from the hoop, did you rehoop the material in the actual position it needed to be for the rest of the design to be able to embroider? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how the hell you would do that because fabric shifts, stabilizer and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes just to hoop something, it's hell. Just to hoop, okay? Which is why sometimes when you go to embroidery shops and stuff like that, some of them will flat out charge you a hooping fee. And sometimes people are like, hooping fee? What the heck's that? And I'm like, yeah, they should be a hooping fee. Because the thing is, the time it takes to take the fabric and actually hoop it correctly, and then also to put the stabilizer in there, that takes time. Okay, because remember, if you do not hoop that item, and hooping is really the first step. It's the first step to embroidery. And if you're not hooping correctly, you can just forget about it because that means that you started sloppy, it's going to end sloppy because your fabric is going to shift on you, or it will shift on you if you don't use the right stabilizer. It's not going to be, you're going to have density, you're going to have puckering. So, a lot of places charge a hoop fee. So think about that, So how you're going to do an 8x8, I don't know. I really don't. And would I try it? I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't. I would not. I would be like, make that design a little smaller, will you? Make it fit in a 5x12, and then we'll be talking. But I wouldn't be doing it. So anyway, all right. So those are the hoops that I know of for the single needle. Okay. Now, I also want to mention, because there are other machines out there that are single needle as well. Okay. Like I believe there's a NQ 2600, and some of them are, I think they have like a 6x10 hoop. But one of the things that I tell you is when you see that those machines have those type of hoops that are big, okay, look at the throat of that machine, and you will notice that it is not small like the SC 1900. It is bigger, okay, because that machine needs that hoop to be able to move freely for it to be able to embroider. So if you need something that is bigger than a 5x7, or even you feel that the 5x12 is not going to be sufficient for you, you may want to look at one of those machines and see what is the biggest hoop they have. Now, one warning that I do have to tell you though, and I'm gonna just put it out there, they're not cheap machines. Okay, they are very, very pricey, because if I remember correctly, just think about it. If you got an SC 1900, you already spent $1,000. Okay, I believe the NV 2600 is about 2,000. And when I went into the showing shop, they had these beautiful machines. Okay, and when I was asking questions about some of them, I think the Luminaire or something like that, they were like 10,000 and up. And I was kind of like, whoa. And that is what led me to the actual multi-needle machine, because the 6 needle that I have is over 10,000. So, well, because I bought the whole set. That's why, because I had the actual machine itself, I believe, was like $8,000, something like that. But then I bought the stand, and then you get the hoops, the other hoops and stuff that I'll show you and stuff. So, after everything was said and done, taxes and all, it was about 11 grand. Okay. So, just something for you to think about. And the thing is, when I was looking at those machines and I saw that the price was starting to rise as much as a multi-needle, that's when I started gearing, for me, the multi-needle. Now, why would some people prefer to get a single needle and spend that much on a single needle than vice getting a multi-needle? Well, some people do it a lot because it's preference. It depends on what it is that you want to embroider. It also depends on the products that you want. If you're not really interested in doing like bags and luggage and certain big bulky items, a single needle may work for you. And also space. Okay. The single needle machines do not take up a lot of space. If you got a table, you're good to go. Okay. These things are monsters. You got to have an actual corner in your house or something. You have to have the space for it. Okay. They're not small. Here, you guys see, these are not small. They're very heavy. These are, and as you can see, it's like right smack in the middle of my room, right between two windows. And then I have embroidery thread behind them. So, as you can see, the space on the SC1900 takes a lot less. So, when you go for the single needles that have the bigger hoop, they don't take as much space as these. So, some people probably say, oh, I do get the bigger hoop. And, there's ways you can maneuver things also on a flat bed. I mean, you guys have been working on a single needle, you guys know. I mean, there's ways that you can turn a shirt and you just, you may have to babysit it, but sew. I mean, I like sewing. I don't mind watching a machine embroider. I love it. I mean, I'm always memorized and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, okay. So these are all the ones for the single needle for the SC1900. So now let's talk about the big baby over here. Singing. I call her Singing Susan. My neighbor Gail named my machine for me. Now, drinking some water here. All right. When I got the multi-needle machine, the multi-needle machines come with its own hoops. But I'm going to tell you something. I have not used them. Now, I have seen a lot of people use them, but I personally have not used them because when I got the machine, first thing I did was I went and I bought something called Mighty Hoops. And it's the magnetic hoops for the big machines. But let me show you what the hoops look like for my brother PR670E, okay? Now, these are the ones. This is the biggest hoop that it comes with. This is about, I don't know. Okay, what is this? All right, it's a 11 inches by 8. No, well, 12 by 8. Let's say 12 by 8. This is as big as it comes, okay? Now, why don't I not like them? Well, it's okay, but, it's just a regular snap-on hoop, right? And it's fine. It's okay. I haven't used it. That's all. I really haven't used it because I kind of went out and I bought my magnetic hoops. Okay. Now, will I use it? Nah, probably will, but anyway, I got my, this is a 12 by 8 and then check it out. Look, they give you a little one. Okay. So it's like I was talking to you guys about, why would you want a little one? See, SC1900, see? Same thing. Nothing different. Okay. And then guess what? Look, I believe this is close to a 4x4. Yep, this is the 4x4. Okay. So this is for the multi-needle, single needle, 4x4. Same thing. Okay. So no difference there. And then here, I believe this is what? This is a 7x6, which is comparable to the 5x7. And where's my 5x7? Here, I got this one right here. See? All right. So really, if you really think about it, and let me show you something. Let's go a little further here. Here I have on my multi-needle, this is my 12 by 8, okay? And I remember I got excited about the multi position because look, there you go. See? I mean, there's really not that much of a difference, okay? Seriously. That's why to me, it's like, this is the whole thing too, is sometimes a lot of people, they think, oh my God, I need a bigger hoop or whatever. You guys can do so much with that single needle machine you have. I mean, don't think that you got to have this monster. You don't. You really don't. Okay. The only time I say you got to have the monster is if you see that you are selling and you know, time is of essence, because you got to remember the big machines do stitch a lot quicker, okay? And some of the hooping capabilities are a little better on the bigger machines than it is on the single needle machines, okay? And it's really because of the arm. And you do try to get away from that if you get something called the embroidery bed riser, okay, where you can lift the machine. However, though, with that, you're also limited also, because you got to remember the machine where you lay the hoop, that's kind of wide, okay? So there's no way around that. Now, if you get a riser, it goes up and then you can put it in, but the thing is, you got to make sure your item is large enough that it can go around the leg of the where you snap your hoop in. I think you guys know what I mean. If you have a machine, you know exactly what I mean, okay? But as you can see, really not much of a difference in the size, okay? So don't think that because you have a single needle that you're like, you know, kind of like at a disadvantage. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just got to get creative. That's all. All right, so let's go to my multi-needles. All right, so as you can see, I just showed you all of the hoops that came with the multi-needle machine, okay? And I don't use them, all right? Don't use them at all. Let me put these somewhere. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so anyway, like I told you guys, I love the magnetic hoops, okay? Use the magnetic hoops on my SE1900 as much, especially when I do the towels. So, of course, because I love these magnetic hoops, when I got my big machine, I wanted magnetic hoops for the big machine. And these are the ones that I have, okay? I got the small one, which is the one that I use for logos, okay? And this is what I use with the hooping station, okay? And I like this one a lot. This is really good. This saved my ass, I'm telling you. It saved me when I did those 36 shirts for that young man for his flooring company. Boy, it makes everything so much easier. I'm telling you. I was happy when I got this. But I you know, and that was a big difference, because if you saw the video, I was pissed at first because nothing was working. Man, I was throwing out shirts like crazy. That pissed me off. So anyway, then I went and I also got this one. This is I guess what that person was asking about. This is an 8x9 hoop, and this is what I love about it. Okay. And let me tell you, let me see. Ooh, okay. These things, they are magnets, okay? They snap. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You got to be, ooh, okay, this is hard. See, it snaps really hard. I'm telling you, this is like, ooh, you don't want to snap your fingers on this. I tell you, boy, you'll be seeing stars. I haven't done it yet, but I'm real careful and stuff because I'm always holding them by the handle, and then I just snap it and stuff. But I'm telling you, very expensive, though. These things are like $150 a pop. But they are, to me, worth it because these are the hoops that I use. Nothing wrong with the hoops that came with the machine, but I just prefer the magnetic hoops because I feel that it makes hooping a lot easier. I feel like this, you just put it under the garment and then you just put it on top of it and it just snaps. So you don't have all the tugging and everything that you do when you're using a regular hoop. So that's the whole reason why I prefer these. And I like these so much that, as time went on, started buying more. And then I even got the big mama of the Mighty Hoops. And this one is the 8x13. And, hold on. Ooh, got it, doing it wrong. Okay, sorry, it's the other way. All right, because I wanted to snap it shut before I show you guys the size and stuff. There you go. All right, so this is pretty good. And let me show you. Let's look at the 5x7 hoop compared to this. Where's the repositioning hoop? Where is it? Where did I put it? I know I put it somewhere. Hold on. Let me see. Where's our repositioning hoop? Here it is. And I got hoops all over the place. All right. So look, this is the multi-needle machine. This is the 8x13, and here's your 5x12. So if you really look at it now, yeah, is this bigger? Yeah, it's bigger, okay? But this is not that bad, okay? I mean, it's just as good. Just I want to show you. That's all, because I mean, some people, they're kind of like, oh, you can't really do much. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Don't make excuses. You can do it. You can do it, okay? I mean, stop it. That's what I say. So, see, not that much of a difference. So you can really, really do a lot with your single needle machine. Okay. So and these are really good. Like I said, these are very, very, very expensive. Now there is something though that the multi-needle has that the single needles do not. And there's two things that they're called. One is called fast frames, and that's what I got. And let me show you what they are. Okay, that's these. Okay. Now what it is that there's another bar that you can attach to the machine. And then what you do is you put the sticky stabilizer on it, and then you slide this in. Now, what would you use this for? This is how I embroider my laptop cases. Okay, laptop cases, everybody loves laptop cases. I tell you, especially when they put the initial on it and their names for the kids and all that kind of stuff. So I got the whole set, and as you can see, I have every single size. See, like little, and I loved another thing that I can use these for. I'm thinking about it. Cosmetic bags, or not cosmetic bags. Makeup. I think I said it right. I don't. My English ain't all that good. You know what I'm saying? I'm Spanglish, so I talk genetic. So, makeup bags, stockings. Stockings work great for stockings and stuff. Anything that you can hoop. I mean, a lot of times when people just bring the items, I kind of look at it, and then I'm like, okay, how am I going to get that underneath the needle? That's what goes through my mind. Okay. This great for baseball hats too, the soft ones, not the hard ones. Okay. And then I got the big one in the mighty hoop. Now there's another thing too that you have that I got from my machine. And you know how you have the hat hoop? Okay. Well, when it comes to the big machines, they have something called, it's this right here. This is something that you have to purchase separate. This is how you embroider baseball hats on a multi-needle machine, okay? And this is called the driver, okay? Then you have a driver. Then you have the, I don't even know what you call it. I don't know what you call it. Hold on, let me get it real quick. Okay. And then you use this to hoop the hat. Okay. And what it is in this stand, I have like a little area. And maybe what I'll do is I'll have my girlfriend video, because let me tell you something, boy, nobody wants to hold the camera for me. I swear to God. You know what they did? They even got me a GoPro. GoPro is a camera that you put on your head, but there's a time lag. It didn't work for me, but it's all right. So I'll get somebody to hold the camera and stuff, and I'll show you guys how I do this. But this is where I would hoop the hat. And this is the driver that would actually connect to the machine. Okay. Now, a lot of people have problems with this because, it is, I mean, it's, you got to know how to really, really hook up the driver to the machine. Okay. It can get kind of confusing. It took me a while to figure it out. But once the driver is in there correctly, and once you know how to properly hoop the hat, then you're in business. Okay, so that's why now I got baseball hats all over my Etsy shop. But before, oh no, it wasn't working out, because the thing is, you really have to install not just the driver correctly, but you have to know exactly how to correctly hoop these hats. So this, it's not hard, but it takes a while to master it, okay, and to know what you're doing. But once you got it down pat and you understand how the driver actually works and how to correctly install it on the machine and how to actually correctly hoop the hat, then you're in business. You're in business. Now I can pop out these baseball hats like nothing. It's like, woo, it's like, give me another hat. I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but it took a while. And let me tell you, there were a lot of hats that got thrown out too. So, you know, but that is all I have. Man, I got a mess. Now I got to reorganize all my hoops and stuff like that. So, which is good. But let me go through the chat because I remember once, and it's already like 8:50. I remember, I think it was like two lives ago. I forgot to go through the chat, say hi to people and answer questions and all that kind of stuff. And then I felt bad. You know, I was like, oh my God, I didn't. So I was trying to go back and make sure that everybody was okay. Because, you know, the whole reason why I like doing this is to just help you guys, you know, with questions and stuff. So let me see. I am going to start scrolling down because I do see there's a lot of comments out there and stuff. Hey, Mary Beth. I see Mary Beth out there. Marlon. Hey, Baltimore. I'm in Haymarket, Virginia. We're not far. Hey, Francine. Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Iris. Man, Texas is in the house. Looking for those questions. So, because I want to make sure that, you know, I wish I could get a bigger size hoop. It already brings the Iris. I'm telling you, look at the 5x7. The 5x7 works. And I believe there has been, if you go on our Facebook group in Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures, there have been someone, and I think it's Cheryl. Cheryl, I think it's you, right? I think you have been rocking the 5x12 and stuff. So let's see, being together now. Hey, Angela, how are you? Okay. Can you show how the magnetic hoop fits on the SC1900? Yes, Lucy, I do have a video on that. And if you look on the channel and type, do a search on the channel and type magnetic hoop, I actually show me using it and how it is. The way the magnetic hoop works is the same exact way that you would snap in the regular 5x7 hoop. Nothing different. Nothing different. You just slide it in, snap it in. That's it. Very, very easy. You'd be surprised. So watch the video, and if you still have issues and stuff like that, ask on the Facebook group, and I'm sure we'll help you out and stuff. I don't think that there's a magnetic hoop for my machine. Well, Iris, what machine you using? You'd be surprised. You may find one and stuff. Post in Facebook what machine you're using, and then I'll see if I can help you find one. I have the magnetic, but wonder what's the best way to attach the stabilizer. I've just been taping it. Okay, Lisa, I got you on that. All right. The stabilizer that I love to use on the magnetic hoop is the sticky stabilizer. And this is how I do it. What I do is take the sticky stabilizer, just cut it around, peel it off, and then just stick it to the bottom. That's it. Now, you're going to see if you look at mine, I don't know if you can see it. If you look at mine, you're going to see that I kind of do have, look, I can peel off some of it. See, this is some sticky stabilizer. You just get gone, and you can clean it right off. See, this is sticky stabilizer right here. You can clean this stuff off. So, you know, if it's, you know, that's what I do. That's how I do it. I just take sticky stabilizer, I stick it to the bottom, and that's it. Now, taping it, you can do that too if you're not using sticky stabilizer. If you're using something like cutaway stabilizer, you know, and you just want to tape it to the size, you can do that as well. You know, I mean, you know, but I always use the sticky stabilizer on this magnetic hoop and stuff. But that was a great question. So Lisa, you know, hope this helped. Let me see. Do you have it for Torah? Oh, for Torah. Ugh. Iris, we'll have to look and see. We'll have to look and see if I can help you find that and stuff. Hey, Linda, how are you? I'm a floater too. Yeah, I love to float. I just feel that floating makes it a lot easier to you know, to hoop. It really does. I mean, you know, I don't, because what happens is when you're trying to clamp the item to the hoop, sometimes your fabric will shift. And then you had it centered perfectly, and because you couldn't squish it really good, it's like the bottom will shift out, or the stabilizer will move, and it just pisses you off. So it's like I just float it, and life is good, you know. So let me see. Hey Tammy, how are you? Hey Tracy, Indiana's in the house. Hey Harmony, how are you? Let's see. Daisy, hey, I've been wanting to get a hat hoop. I successfully embroidered on a hat the other day, but the brim was really tough. It made it hard to lower the design, so it was too high. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what the rule of thumb is. I usually, when I know the lower you put the design on the hat, the harder it's going to be, because on the brim that's really, really tough. So I usually do up it a little bit. I try not to have it as close to the brim. But I guess to me, if I was doing that, and I saw that the hat was a little bit too, was getting to that part, probably would have slowed down the machine a little bit just to make sure that it's going okay. And I wonder if maybe the needle, I would have gotten maybe a sharp needle instead of a ballpoint too. Not sure if that would help, but that's something that maybe you can Google and try to find out and stuff. But I think I would have probably changed my needle to a sharp, because of such the hard surface. You want something that's really going to be able to slide in there and stuff. Let me see. Other questions. Oh, what do you do to clean your hoops with? I have basting spray all over my hoops at tension. Oh, well, let me tell you let me show you something too. Wait, I'll be right back, guys, because I got to show you this. Because you were asking about that, and I'm going to tell you, this is a tip that I got from actually one of you guys, okay? You guys were, this was something a tip, okay? Now, to clean it, okay, I use something called Go-Go Gone, or you can use alcohol, right? And you just go ahead and rub it, and it'll come right off. But let me show you guys something I got it from somebody, from one of you guys. This is, if you go to the dollar store, okay, they have these things that people put around their steering wheels, right? It's only $1, right? So once somebody had wrote that what they do is when they need to spray the temporary adhesive on the hoop, right? Because, it gets dirty. They would take this and they'll put it around the hoop like this, right? And then what they do is then they take their temporary spray adhesive and then they spray it. So what happens is it'll fall on this, and it only costs $1, right? And it's not going to dirty up your hoop. And then you take it off, and then you go and you lay your material, and then you embroider. And I was like, oh, that's smart. And then if you really think about it, I mean, yeah, this only costs $1. If it gets dirty, just throw it in the wash, and if you threw it in the wash and it still came out real funky and tacky, and you're like, I don't want this, then you go to the dollar store, you buy another one. It's only $1. So I thought this was a neat thing. So I'm glad you asked that question, because it made me think about this. Looks a little bit like a scrunchie, right? Put it on my hair. No, but anyway, I thought this was a really, really neat and smart idea. And I was like, oh, so I started doing that. I went to the dollar store and I got one, and I've been using this before I spray my temporary adhesive. So it's pretty cool. So I mean, it's very neat idea. I really like that idea that I had. So that's how we get them clean. Well, let's see. Yes, the hoops do get gummy. I clean mine also. Yeah, they do. They get gummy and stuff. Okay, basic. Okay. So Daisy, I think you're good on that. Let me see. Lucky Lucy. Hey, Lucky Lucy. Iris. Soap and water. You can use soap and water. Yeah. I mean, it's just sticky stuff. That's all. I mean, it's easy to get off. I mean, it's not gonna stay there forever and stuff. So I mean, you should see my hat hoop before I actually went online. This thing looked bad, especially the back. Now it looks like it's brand new, because I had just literally cleaned it. But before I had like paper all over it. It was dirty. It was really, really dirty. And knowing me, it's not going to stay this clean very long. So it'll get dirty again, so it's okay. Oh, Harry said you can also use nail polish remover. Yes, you can. You can use that. And that's the other thing too. Don't just think about cleaning your hoops also. Think about your needles, okay? Needles get gummy too. So, you take alcohol or nail polish remover, you put it on a little cotton ball and just put it on the edge of your needle and stuff. But also remember too, you're supposed to be changing those needles every 8 hours, okay? Because needles do get dull. And if you don't change your needles like you should, and what's going to happen is you're going to be embroidering with a dull needle. And what that's going to do is it's going to make bigger holes in your fabric. So you don't want that, okay? So, something to remember. But yes, Harmony is right. You could use nail polish remover, and that helps also. And so, let me see. I told the guy about machine. Same nice guy. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? Let me see. Do you have a video demonstrating how to use? Yes, Lucky Lucy, I do. On the channel, I did make a video on how to do a hat hoop. And I think what I'll do is I'll make more videos. I mean, I know it's probably going to be the same thing, but I'll just do like different designs so that way you can see me doing it, and if I run into trouble, you'll see what kind of trouble I get into. That way you guys, because the thing is too is I don't want you guys to feel kind of like alone. Like I did embroider a shirt today. I was doing a test of a shirt. I didn't like the way the shirt came out. I bought a shirt. It was pretty expensive shirt. It wasn't, but I wanted to test the fabric, and I embroidered it. I did an applique of a truck with a little boy's name on it, and I don't like the way it came out. You could see the stabilizer through it. I think the fabric was too thin, and I was kind of like, okay. So I gave it to the little boy, and I kind of figured out for you to run around and play with, have at it. I just don't like to embroider clothes and then throw them out because I think that's a waste. So when I'm testing designs and stuff like that, I'll try to look for, who can I, if it comes out, whatever, who can I give it to so that way they can use it and stuff like that. But I don't know, how did I get into that? Anyway, but because we're talking about the hat hoop. Okay. But I will do more videos on that as well and stuff. Because sometimes it does help to see something several times. And I'm sure you guys don't want to see the same video of the same hat, so I'll do different ones. And so I lost my grid a long time ago, and I have no idea where it is. Iris, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't even use my grid. Like I said, I use a ruler. I just use a ruler and stuff. So, let's see. Buried in crafting somewhere. What do you recommend for sticky stabilizer? Okay. Hey, Dr. Mary. I usually, well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not particular about brands. Okay, what I am really particular about is if the item that I buy works and does its job. Now, the sticky stabilizer that I have right now, I got. Oh, here it is. It's called World Weaver, and I have this in my Amazon shop. Okay, all the stuff that I buy and I use, I have a Amazon storefront, and whatever it is that I find that I use that I like, I will put it up there. Now the thing is, that does not mean that will be the only product that I use, because I'm always looking for, like I said, the best bang for my buck. So if I see another sticky stabilizer out there that may be a little cheaper, what I usually do is I'll buy one roll, and then I look to see does this cut the mustard? And if it works really good, then I'll be like, okay, then this is another one that I could use if the other one's not available. So, but this is the one that I have been using, and this has been working. It has not been that expensive. So, I mean, like I said, I don't, I'm just want to, I'm always looking for the cheap stuff. And then also, because I have the Amazon storefront, a lot of times too, sometimes I'll get notifications of certain things that are like going on a sale or something like that. And then what I try to do is when I get those notifications, like I did, I think it was this past week, actually, they had a set of embroidery thread, okay, the 63 colors, and it was on sale, and it was a pretty good sale. So I put the link on the Facebook group, because the thing is, I was like, just in case, and I always just say, just in case you guys are interested, look, it's a really good deal, whatever. This is, because it was really, really good. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like, was it $30, something like that? It was, or 24, I think it was $24. I know I paid way more than that when I bought that box. Okay. So, I mean, I always like to put that out there. So one of the things that I recommend, Dr. Mary, is look there and see what I have out there. You don't necessarily have to buy what I have there, but sometimes when you click on it, you'll get like other suggestions. And I say, just try it. But I always say just buy one. And then if you see that it is a brand that you seem to like and it works for you, then that's when I'll go and I'll buy more. But I usually buy more when I see they're on sale or something like that. So, that's how I work. Cause everybody knows I'm pretty cheap. I'm just cheap. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Natasha's Closet. Just purchased hey, congratulations. She just got her machine. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And so, I never tried to use the repositioning hoop. Iris, you would be surprised. It's not hard at all. It really, really isn't. If you watch the video and you'll see, I show you exactly how I did it. And that was the first time I ever did a repositioning hoop. And I did it from start to finish. And in the video, I show you, I bring it up in brilliance, how to pick the hoop. And I just did something simple. I just did my name. And then I took a bath towel and I floated it on the hoop. And it came out perfect. I was amazed. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, pretty cool. Let's see. I want to make sure I answer everybody's questions out here. Oh, the Cricut Maker. Yes. Okay. All right. Yes. Miss Miles asked about the Cricut Maker. Okay. Miss Miles, she was asking about the Cricut Maker because she's looking to buy one. And she wanted to ask about my experience about it. I had owned two. Okay. I had a Cricut Explorer 2, and then I went and I upgraded to the Cricut Maker. And what I did was I got my Cricut Explorer 2 for free. And the way I got that was I used all my, I have a Discover card, and then, you take the Discover card and then you turn the rewards into gift cards and that stuff. So I saved all my Discover rewards, got enough gift cards where I went and I was able to get my, using the cash back, to gift cards. Traded in the cash back to get the gift cards, went to Michael's and got my free Explorer machine, Cricut machine. So anyway, I had that for about 2 years, and the Cricut Maker came out. Now, the big difference between the Explorer and the Cricut Maker to me is that I saw that the Cricut Maker cuts fabric and it also cuts chipwood. The Cricut Explorer does not. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that the Explorer is like a bad machine. It really isn't. Because I'm going to be honest, if you are not going to be cutting chipboard and you're not interested in cutting fabric, and I'm going to be honest, I got the Maker and I'm not even using that to cut fabric. I'm really not. I could, but I don't. I always end up just using my rulers and cutting the fabric myself. So to be honest, I should have stayed with my Explorer 2, but that's okay. But, that is really the big difference. So, it depends on what you plan on doing with that machine. If you see yourself cutting the chip, the wood chip or chip wood, chip something. It's this kind of wood. Here, I have it here. I bought it and I haven't even done it yet. It's this kind of wood. It's like cardboard, and stuff. But it cuts this, and then it has a flat, and you can cut the fabric. Now, one of the good things about cutting the fabric is you're really going to get precise cuts, okay? But what I didn't like about using the Cricut Maker and cutting the fabric was I found that the blade got dull. And then I always had to keep going out and buying a blade. And the tools for the Cricut are not cheap. And those things just never go on sale, which is why what I do is I buy those discounted gift cards from Michael's, and then I'll go and I'll get my Cricut items that way. But the blade always went dull and stuff. And then not only that, then the mats, they start to get dirty, and then you have to try to clean them, and then you end up buying more mats. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna cut the fabric myself. What the hell, I mean, it's cheaper and it's better. So, but the capability is there if I want it. But I do like the Cricut. I do like it. I have had my Cricut now for years. I believe 5 years, I think I've been doing Cricut and stuff. I can do Cricut videos if you guys want me to do Cricut videos and stuff. I've done it all and stuff. So I went from the Cricut to the sewing, from the sewing to the embroidery. So, but it is a good machine, and it is a lot of fun and stuff. So, but I hope, if you guys have questions about it, you guys are more than welcome to ask. And you can even ask at the Facebook. Just because the Facebook group says embroidery happy hour doesn't have to really be about all embroidery, okay? If you guys want to talk about the Cricut, talk about the Cricut. I mean, it's all about, it's about us sharing information, having a good time, So, let's see. Anybody else? Because I want to make sure that I answer all the questions and stuff. Yeah, and my girlfriend Aisha, she got her Cricut Maker, and then my friend Robin got her Cricut Maker, and then my sister called me and told me she got a Cricut Maker. So I don't know, you guys got late. You guys get late with the Cricut, but that's okay. So that's like, I guess I should start doing the video so that everybody can start learning about the Cricut, especially if you just got it. And so it's a really great machine. It really is. Let's see. Where could I buy a PE 535? If that's an embroidery machine, I would check. I would probably check Amazon. That's what I would do. I never heard of that particular machine, a 535. I've heard of the PE 600 or 625. I heard about that. I think Harmony started with this PE 625. I think so, but I never heard of a 535. Cameo is another good cutting machine, very similar to the Cricut. Yep. And I know my cousin Tracy, she uses the Silhouette. She likes the Silhouette. She uses that. Let me see. Did my first towel the other day, didn't realize the design wasn't done, stuck it back in, lined it up, and it came out fine. Oh, Tracy, you were lucky. Did you take it out of the hoop, or did you just take the hoop out of the machine and then you just popped it back in? Because it's hard. It's really hard to realign once you take the material out. It's like, let's see. Hey, Miss Miles. I see the Smiles is on. Hey, Pretty Eyes. Are you going to get the Cricut mug press? No, I am not. And the reason why I'm not is because I have my when it comes to some of the Cricut stuff, like let's say the Cricut press, the heat press, right? I have an actual heat press right here. And I also have the mug press as well. I didn't get the Cricut brand. I got my mug press, I got my heat press from Pro World, and they came with really, really good reviews. the heat press for the Cricut, what I don't like about it is that, it works great. Don't get me wrong. It evens out the heat. The heat is very, very even. However, though, when you are working on heat vinyl transfer, you're the one that has to actually put the pressure on that heat press in order for, it to really stick on, right? So you have to put your body pressure on it. When you're using a heat press like this, what happens is you just close it. And when you close it, it's sealed. It's sealed in. It's doing the pressure for you. It times it and everything. Mine pops up. So mine has a timer. So, same thing with the mug press. With the mug press, I put it in and put it in. It has a timer. I don't know how the Cricut mug press works, though. I don't know if the mug press on the Cricut has its own timer and stuff like that. But I already have a mug press, so I'm not gonna do the Cricut mug press and stuff. Have a Cricut party. We could have a Cricut party. We could do a Cricut live or something. I don't know. Or I can do a Steam yard, and then I can have a couple of people come on and we can all do Cricut projects together. We could do that too. If you guys are interested, let me know. Put it on Facebook and I'll arrange something, because that'll be something fun. And then not only, because in the chat room, we don't get to really see each other. You know what I'm saying? So I could do a streamline and we could all see each other and stuff. So that would be kind of cool. Actually, that would be fun, I kind of like that idea. Wasn't sure which one to get. Thanks, Jeanette. Oh, hey, you're welcome, Cindy. Just do your homework and stuff, And now, when I first bought my Cricut Explorer, it only came in one color. It was like a white, it was all, just one color. Now they come in all these pretty colors and stuff, so it's pretty cool. I really do like it and stuff. Love the idea of a Cricut party. I'll do it, guys. I mean, why not? It'll be fun. Okay, I already took off the stabilizer and realized it was not finished. So I lined it up with my dots. There you go, Tracy. So you're brave. Because I would have been like, whoop, there goes that. I'm going to start all over again. That's just because I would have been like, I'm not going to stick that back in there and mess it up, and stuff. Well, guys, it has been about an hour, and oh my God, over an hour. I'm sorry. I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and stuff. But I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I try to do embroidery happy hour, and actually I have been doing it. I have not missed a Friday yet, so I love doing embroidery happy hour. This is a lot of fun for me, and I love sharing information and stuff. So if you subscribe to my channel, it'll be great. Oh, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I did put a video out there on the serger, and a couple of people comment, I did the serger incorrectly. So what I did was I took that video off of the channel, because now I'm actually going to film another video on how to thread the serger. And I'm also going to explain what I had did wrong, so that way you guys understand exactly what happened and stuff. So just want to let you guys know I took that video down, because I don't want, if anyone has that serger, to make the same mistake that I made. So, I plan on refilming that and stuff. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. I really, truly enjoy having this channel, and I really enjoy our Facebook group. We are growing. We are almost at 1,000. That's pretty cool. I think we're at last time I checked, it was like 930, something like that. So that's pretty cool and stuff. And the channel's growing too. So, share the channel, please, with folks. If they're interested in the craft, they're interested in learning. I am also going to be starting doing the Cricut videos also, because I know my sister has been bothering me. She's been calling me like crazy. How do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm thinking, you know what? Same time I'm helping her, I can help a lot of the guys out, a lot of you guys out there, especially if you're new in the Cricut world also. So anyway, you guys, have a great, great evening. Have a great weekend. A good weekend, and happy Easter on Sunday. So, and I will see you guys next Friday. Okay, so, and if you have any ideas about videos or any information on how to do something that you want me to do, just let me know and join the Facebook group if you're not part of it. Everything's going to be in the description of this video. Okay, so you guys have a very great evening. Okay, and you guys take care. Talk to you guys later. Be safe. Bye.